You will hear listening exercises. Please do it honestly. When I check the data, some students do it honestly but the others don't. You can hear many times the listening exercise as you please. You can listen until you understand the lecture. Once again, do it honestly, and thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to talk about a belief that is very common in many communities, especially in Asia and tropical countries. You may have heard people say, "Do not drink cold water after eating, because it will make the fat freeze inside your body." This statement sounds logical at first, especially if we think about what happens to oil when it is placed in a refrigerator. Oil becomes solid, right? So people naturally assume the same thing happens inside the human body. But the real question is, does this actually happen in our digestive system? As a nutrition expert, I would like to explain this topic clearly by discussing the theory, common experiences, scientific facts, and research findings. Why do people believe this myth? First, let us understand why this belief exists. Many people feel uncomfortable or bloated after drinking cold water with meals. Some experience stomach cramps or slower digestion. From these sensations, people conclude that cold water hardens or freezes fat inside the stomach. In everyday life, we also see that fat becomes solid at low temperatures. Coconut oil, butter, and animal fat will harden when cold. So it seems reasonable to assume that cold water could solidify fat in the stomach. However, the human body does not work like a kitchen or a refrigerator. How digestion actually works. To understand the truth, we must understand human digestion. After you eat, food enters the stomach, where it is mixed with gastric acid and digestive enzymes. The temperature inside the human body is tightly regulated at around 37 degrees Celsius, 98.6 degrees. Even if you drink very cold water, the temperature of that water changes very quickly once it enters your body. The stomach warms it up within minutes. The body does this automatically to protect internal organs and maintain normal function. Fat digestion does not depend on temperature in the way people imagine. Fat is broken down by bile from the liver and enzymes such as lipase, mainly in the small intestine, not in the stomach. So even if fat could theoretically harden at low temperatures, the stomach environment never becomes cold enough or stays cold long enough for that to happen. Scientific facts about fat and temperature. Now let us talk about fat itself. Different types of fat have different melting points. Some fats are solid at room temperature, others are liquid. However, most dietary fats melt well below normal body temperature. Once fat enters the digestive system, it is emulsified by bile broken into fatty acids, absorbed through the intestinal wall. This process is chemical and enzymatic, not mechanical or temperature-based. In other words, fat does not remain as a solid lump inside the body. What does research say? Scientific studies do not support the idea that cold water freezes fat in the digestive system. Several nutrition and physiology studies show that cold beverages may slightly slow gastric emptying in some individuals. The effect is temporary and minimal. There is no evidence of fat solidifying inside the stomach or intestines. Some research even shows that drinking cold water can slightly increase energy expenditure, because the body uses a small amount of energy to warm the water. However, this effect is very small, and not significant for weight loss. Most importantly, no credible scientific research supports the claim that drinking cold water after meals causes fat accumulation or frozen fat inside the body. Why do some people feel uncomfortable after drinking cold water? This is an important point. While the myth is false, the physical discomfort is real for some people. Cold water can cause stomach muscle contraction, trigger sensitivity in people with gastritis or acid reflux, make digestion feel slower. Temporarily, this discomfort is often misunderstood as fat freezing, when in reality it is a sensory or muscular response, not a digestive failure. People with sensitive digestion may feel better drinking warm or room temperature water, but this is about comfort, not fat metabolism. Common situations where the myth persists. This belief is often reinforced in situations such as eating fatty foods like fried chicken or meat drinking iced beverages immediately after meals, feeling heavy or bloated afterward. The heaviness is usually caused by high-fat meals, large portion sizes, slow digestion of fat. In general, fat digestion naturally takes longer than carbohydrates. Cold water does not change this process in a harmful way. What really causes fat gain? Fat gain is not caused by cold water. Weight gain occurs due to excess calorie intake, high consumption of energy-dense foods, low physical activity. Long-term eating patterns, whether water is cold or warm, does not determine whether fat is stored in the body. Evidence-based recommendations. So, what should we do? From a nutrition science perspective, drinking cold water after meals is safe for healthy individuals. Choose water temperature based on comfort. Focus on balanced meals, portion control, and overall diet quality. If you experience digestive discomfort, try room temperature or warm water. Eat more slowly. Avoid very large or very fatty meals. Let me summarize. The idea that drinking cold water after meals causes fat to freeze inside the body is a myth, not a scientific fact. The human body maintains a stable internal temperature. Fat digestion is controlled by enzymes and bile, not by the temperature of beverages. While cold water may cause temporary discomfort for some people, it does not solidify fat or cause weight gain. As nutrition professionals and informed individuals, it is important that we question popular beliefs, rely on scientific evidence, educate society with accurate, clear information. Understanding the difference between myths and facts helps people make better health decisions and reduces unnecessary fear around food and eating habits.